Cool.
All right.
Perfect. So, what's your name first?
My name is William Yelte, or Leffen, as I am known in the Smash community.
Nice. And when did you start playing Smash?
I think it was really late 2009 or early 2009. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's 2009. I dabbled in it a bit, and then I got serious as time went on.
Yeah. What about the gameplay kind of made you want to get competitive?
I actually played some Brawl before, and then the first time I went to where they held the sessions, I was gonna play with Pepito, a Brawl main. I was like, all right, come here and we can play Brawl. And there wasn't a Brawl disc at first, so I sat down and all right, I'll play some Melee. And then I played some Melee, and I realized like, wait, this is really fun. And then once they came with the Brawl disc, I'm like, no, I'm new, so I don't say anything, but I'm like, no, I want to keep playing Melee. And from that on, I just picked up the game, and from there on, I don't know. It's always been that there's so many options, and the game is just so good. It's just so fun to play, really, and that's what kept me going. Like still to this day, like I just love winning, and winning in this game where you feel like you have complete control is so satisfying.
Yeah. How would you describe it? Because you also play Street Fighter,
Right?
So you kind of know the two different worlds. How would you compare it to a game like Street Fighter?
It's funny because I think Smash, in a way, is like kind of almost like a fighting game that's almost like a sport. Because you can have so much text on execution, you can do so much, and even though the game is kind of stale, like unlike Street Fighter and other games that have patches, you just keep on. You have the same tools, but you can get better as a human, and that's what separates people. And in Melee, there's so many options, almost infinite amount of options, and there's so many ways to counter all these options. And the game is just incredibly deep. But in Street Fighter, it doesn't make it worse, but it is very much it's much shallower than Melee is. So there's a lot more like guessing games and like 50-50s and like setups and set play. Where in Melee, it's much more like fluent, and you really don't know what's going on. But that's kind of part of what makes the game Melee.
Yeah.
Right.
When you started to go, did you go to tournaments first, or did you?
I actually went to a tournament like 2 weeks after I was started playing. So I had my parents drive me down. It was 6 hours. It was in this area, but not this venue. And I went in, and there was some people from my region that I met before, but other than that, I knew no one. And those people hadn't come yet, so I didn't know anything. I just dropped off my stuff. I was panicking, I was so nervous, and then I sit down, and suddenly everything calms down. I didn't sit and play Melee. I didn't even make it out of pools. I barely lost, but it was a really fun time, and that's what really cemented my feelings for the game, basically.
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of people here, for example, interact and kind of get along because of the love of the game?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not like all of those people. Like, I don't love you because you play the game, but of course, having such a good topic, such a good conversation start is always great. And it's usually really easy to talk with people while playing, just because you can talk about the game, you can talk about and since the game is so deep, you can talk about it for hours, basically.
Yeah. And you when were you first started to notice that you were getting really, really good?
Since I was playing Brawl, I kind of improved rapidly, but I think there was one comment, and at my second tournament, I was playing Falco at first, and I could do the short ups and then L cancels, and I had kind of a talent for doing those quickly. And there was some veteran who had been playing for 5 years, I couldn't do those for the first 2 years, and that one thing stuck to me, and as it went on, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually good, and then it was kind of like that. I didn't really know, and then it was almost a year after I started playing, 5 months or so, or more. I played Armada in friendlies at DreamHack, and we played for an hour or so. And he switched characters, and he destroyed me every time. But I got one match or two matches off his Captain Falcon. That was, of course, his like worst high tier, but it was also my best matchup. And then I realized, like, if I can beat this guy at the game, maybe, no, definitely I can be the best. This guy is like, he got second to Genesis. I can definitely do this. And from there on, I just like, as I was improving and got constantly higher, so I just like kind of convinced myself like I am actually good. I can become the best.
Yeah. Were you like, because Armada, I think at that point, or a little maybe after Genesis, like he was probably the best in the Europe. At that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Were you aiming for him as?
Of course, but I've always thought of Armada as more of a training partner in a way. I've never tried to dedicate much time to studying him because I could be the best at the Peach match. I could beat Armada every time, but I would rather focus on improving myself and then beat him out of raw skill rather than countering him. So I never really, my focus was always on becoming the best and not beating Armada.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And you guys did have a little bit of a history
there. Yeah. We have played many times, and it took a while before I started taking games of him, but I never felt like I should counterpick him. Like, he had a lot of trouble with Puff, so I thought about like maybe I should just play Puff so I could get an easy win. But then I realized like, what's the point? He's my only really good trading partner. I should really just use him as that rather than taking the sheep way.
Yeah. And you guys were like tight for a long time. Right?
Yeah. We were. After I started traveling, after I became good, we traveled basically to all the European tournaments, and at least the ones I could get to, we usually travel together and stay together. And for Armada's big win streak, where he won Genesis 2, Apex twice, that didn't start. He never won in America before I started traveling with him. And at Genesis 2, we had a 2.5-week road trip before the event. So we took this van, 10 people. I had a CRT in the back. So as we were driving around California, down to Las Vegas, and like all around California basically, we were constantly playing for 2 weeks straight. And since I was kind of a frame data junkie and I know a lot about the game, I try to like, oh, PP does this, and let me here show you how to punish this. Because Armada is always kind of like instinct guy. He didn't really know the specifics of some stuff, so I really try to help him with that.
Yeah. What was that like driving around with 10 Swedes in the van?
It was one of the best weeks, 2 weeks of my life, basically. It was a lot of up and downs. It was Grand Canyon, and people almost died. It was crazy. It was a ton of fun, and you definitely learn a lot.
Nice.
And it was my first American major. I played Falco, and I think I did pretty okay for my first. I got 17th, and then that was my highest placing for a while, because at the next Apex I only got 33rd. Yeah, there was the European 33rd where me, Ice, and Amsal all got 33rd.
Oh man, what do you think about, because like you've been in the States now where you've had like the chants and stuff, like in USA. How is that different from Europe, and is that really tough to deal with?
The chants?
Yeah.
I think I thought about it more when it wasn't that good, but as the chants started, and as like, I don't really care. I thought I would care more, and to be honest, I care more about when you're sitting at like these kind of events where you can kind of hear the commentators. That's when I really like to hear music, because like hearing thoughts about the game is way more disturbing than hearing Leffen sucks or USA. So even though I've got a lot of chance against me, I've never really bothered with it. It's like, sure, maybe it's bad for the community to say Leffen sucks, but to me personally, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
And I don't mind when people share against me that way.
Yeah. You had you know, your online personality is kind of renowned in the community.
Definitely.
What do you think about that? And are you really like that in person?
I don't think I ever was, but to me, I kind of came from WoW, which is and I was really good. I was good at the game, especially for my age. And in WoW, and as people see now, the Dota, the LoL, the StarCraft community, people trash a lot more than they do in special media. Especially, I think to a lot of people, there was a very heavy clash where I came in, I started getting good, I was cocky, I wanted to improve, and the veterans, tons of them still just play for fun, kind of. So there was a lot of drama basically, and especially on Smash boards, I really just like played around and troll. And sure, that doesn't excuse it, but that's what was how I thought about it at the time, at least.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as a result of that, there was some kind of falling out between you and Armada.
Yeah, definitely me and Armada, and just the Swedish community overall. There's a lot of debate. In reality, it's all behind us, but in short, it basically was that me and Rocky, another Swedish Smasher, we didn't like each other, and the easiest way to say it is that I took it too far, and then like I can say what I want, but the community decided that I was too toxic, and so I didn't play for a year in 2013, and then when people thought I got better, or they gave me another chance, and since then it's been fine, basically.
Yeah. So things have kind of smoothed over.
Yeah, but it was definitely a big, for me and Armado, it was kind of big because he didn't support the ban whenever he talked to me, so that was kind of one of my biggest problems with him, that he didn't openly state that he supported the ban, even though I coached him at Apex, and then he owed me money when he banned me, and then he just blocked me from Facebook. So that was a really drama-filled year, basically.
Yeah.
But I think we all got over it, and I'm happy it worked out fine.
Are you? They always kind of put Armada, PP, the top 5 into one group, and then everybody else, like you and Hacks and all below. Do you feel like that's correct, or do you feel like?
I think that if you don't use bias, I should definitely be 5th over Hungrybox, because pure objectively looking at the results, I should be over him. I outplaced him 3 out of 4 times in 2014. I beat him twice individually. But whether as to I'm a Smash god, that's kind of how you define it. Do you find it as the best right now, or do you find it as the legacy? Because Hungrybox has been so consistent for so many years. Maybe that puts him above me in legacy, or if you look back in 5 years, people would probably rate Hungrybox above me. But I think how you would seed me or how you should rank me, I think I should be above Hungrybox and in that top 5.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool, man. What are your predictions for this tournament we're at now?
I think, as always, I think me and Armada are going to face in every game in Grand Finals. That's how we've been for a lot of the time. We played in both Winter Finals and Grand Finals in Smash 4, and we're now set to face in Winter Finals of teams. And it's very, very likely that we'll face in Winter Finals and Grand Finals in the singles too.
Yeah, you're feeling confident?
I feel confident. I always do. I think I always do. So it's kind of hard to say how much that says about me, but I definitely think I can win. I've done it before. He beat me, but it's always a conflict when we play.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to say now before I let you go play pools about the game, about your thoughts on the community?
I think Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube is an amazing game, and everyone should play it.
Amen, man.
All right.
Amen.
All right.
Cool. I'll let you go, Gene.